1, 3, 5, 7, 9. What's with all the cicadas and prime? Do you know all those noisy insects that can keep you up at night? If you don't, you're about to find out because trillions of them are emerging in the midwestern and southern US right now, covering a whopping 16 states. It's the largest emergence in centuries. All baby cicadas or nymphs burrow underground where they drink the xylem. What's this? It's part of the internal fluid transport system of trees. It's what maple syrup is. Delicious. No wonder they like it. Their mouth parts are like drinking straws and they don't bite or carry diseases. And even though it's soon going to feel like a plague of cicadas for some of you, they aren't harmful, they're helpful. More on that in a minute. Most of the 3,000 plus species spend anywhere from 1 to 9 years growing and developing underground every year. Some number of individuals will come up every year, but not the ones we have here in the United States. These 7 species are magical. Maybe that's why the genus is called Magicicada or periodic cicada. In most mythology, the cicada represents rebirth and immortality. The Aztecs carved the insect from jade and used it in funeral rituals, placing it on the tongues of the dead. Even its genus name, Magicicada, comes from the Greek word magi or magic. What's so special about them? It's the predictable synchronous emergence of large numbers of adults and their near total absence in the years in between. There's always those few that like to march to the beat of their own drum, but the vast majority of the billions and this year trillions that emerge do so every 13 or 17 years. The US has 15 distinct populations, what we call broods. 3 of them come out of their underground home every 13 years, and the remaining 12 come out every 17 years. This is the longest developmental cycle of any known insect. You can have multiple species in a brood, meaning that being a 13 or a 17 isn't species specific. Whether there are 13 or 17, they all come out on schedule, and sometimes they come out together. What's really special about this year is the 2 broods that are coming of age, so to speak, brood 19, or the Great Southern Brood, and brood 13, or the Northern Illinois Brood. They are going to show up at the same time. They have not co-emerged since 1803. That's 221 years ago. What's not so special is that they're coming out en masse. This is really a survival strategy, and cicadas aren't alone in this. Flooding predators with more than they could possibly eat is something many species do, and it guarantees that some are going to survive to make it to the next generation. Wildebeests do it, prairie dogs do it, and even antelope do it, all giving birth around the same time. Even oak and beech trees do it in a massive masting event that happens periodically. If you live in the States being inundated, you may be tempted to spray pesticides, but please don't, because you could end up poisoning other things. And remember, they're beneficial. We need cicadas, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But first, let's talk about why the prime numbers. It's another survival strategy. Predators and prey cycle, and their cycles can fluctuate in nature. So by emerging every 13 or 17 years, these cicadas minimize the chance that they're going to overlap with a ton of predators. For instance, a predator whose population cycles every 3 years will only overlap every 39 or 51 years. That's one heck of a strategy, and they need it because they kind of suck at flying and they suck at landing, but they sure can run. Now, this strategy doesn't always work. So, for example, the lynx has managed to converge pretty closely with its main prey, the snowshoe hare, on a 9 to 11 year cycle. When they do overlap, it's for a few years, and lynx do really well. But often they lag 1 to 2 years behind the hare boon. But back to cicadas. When soil temperatures hit about 64 degrees and it's followed by a terrific rain, they emerge en masse, racing up the trees. That's where the running part comes in. And they finish their development growing into those beautiful insects that have been written about throughout the ages. They're pretty hard to miss because they'll often make a racket. To you, it may sound like a cacophony of buzzsaws. And it's going on all day and all night. But to lady cicadas, it's the sound of sweet, sweet love. Cicadas only live for about a month, so there is no time to waste. The males get right down to the business of singing, and they do this by oscillating a special organ called a timbal, and they use the muscles all around it to pull at it back and forth. It's exhausting work, and no wonder they die first. Each species has its own song, and a bunch of males will get together and sing so that they're loud enough for the females to find them. If they really want to make an impression, a little wing flick is added, and if the females like them, they'll flick right back. Okay, but why are they important? First, they feed a bunch of animals, including raccoons, birds, lizards, and more. Even after they die, which they all do, they can be really great fertilizer for the forest and for your garden or your backyard. And all that burrowing in and out of the ground is like creating space for water that can seep down. And apparently they're tasty. And if you like this video, you can tune in to the podcast this week for a full hour of cicadas with Dr. Flloyd Shockley. He's the collection manager of the Department of Entomology at the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. I interviewed him in 2021 when Brood 10 emerged. So I'm rebooting that episode now in honor of Broods 19 and 13. Well, there you have it, except let's close with a little haiku I wrote. A cicada sings against the aging oak tree. Quietly, it dies. Thanks for watching.